Hello everyone, welcome to class today. It's a very exciting day, of course, for a very exciting topic. The topic of today's lecture is present modal forms. So let us get down to it. Let's talk about a modal form, okay? My beautiful handwriting here, modal. All right, so a modal form is more or less, you can consider it like an auxiliary verb that gives the main verb a different function or meaning. It modifies it in a way. It can give it ability, obligation, necessity. We use modal verbs for permission, advice, prediction. So we use these modal verbs pretty much the same in English as we do, let's say, in Croatian. So it's pretty intuitive, I would say. That's a modal verb, would, for hypotheses, prediction, hypotheses. So anyway, some of these modal forms you're familiar with. We have can, could, oh yeah, I won't leave out must, and okay, we have variant forms. We have need to, ought to, should for advice, might for possibility, may for possibility or prediction. What else? Will for prediction. We have many more forms we'll talk about later. But let's look at the material. And actually, first, you know what? I forgot. Let's go over the form, present form, that is. So to form a present modal, okay, we simply take whichever modal we're using and add the infinitive without to, okay? Behind modal forms, we don't use the infinitive with to, okay? In English, we have two infinitives, one with and one without. So, if you want to know more about infinitives with or without to, you can go to our gerund and infinitive lecture. So, let's move ahead. Okay, full steam. Let's look at some of the material here. Now, as you can see, first, we have obligation. Okay, let's zoom in. Must. All right, now, of course, in Croatian, you know, Croatian language, this is the only form of obligation we have. So, as this was used, okay, I won't cite or I won't repeat, but we all know that this is used a bit too much. It's very, should we say, stern. That's a good word, stern, very strong, okay? For obligation, try using have to, okay? Have to, even a more colloquial or idiomatic way to say obligation would be have got to, okay? Have got to. For example, you've got to be at work by 9 p.m. You've got to. There's no exception here, sir or madam. You've got to be at work by 9, period. Touchko. Okay? So, now, must, however, in negative or negated form, we do need to use this because have to and mustn't mean two entirely different things, okay? Mustn't and have to, or excuse me, don't have to means, well, look, I've got two choices. Number one, I can, or number two, okay, I don't have to. So they do mean different things. Mustn't means you don't have a choice. You mustn't be late, meaning that you have no choice. You don't have to, well, we would never say that, but you don't have to wear a tie to the party. It means, number one, you can wear a tie, or number two, don't wear it, okay? Pretty easy. So, we talk about that in the lack of obligation and necessity. Now, some obligation is a noun form. Some adjective forms used, we can say obligatory, compulsory. We can say I'm obliged if you want. That's a past participle form. I am obliged. Oh, see, look, we are not obliged. There you have it, okay? You don't have to wear a tie at work. What a coincidence. I really didn't know that I was going to say that. But that's one form of modal usage, okay? It's one way we use modal forms for obligation necessity. Number two, okay, advice. We all love giving advice, okay? Now, remember, we're speaking all in present form here. So, the number one way I say we use for advice is the modal form should, okay? Should is used, I would say, 80-90% of the time, okay? You ought to, okay, nothing's wrong with it, but just, I think we use should more than ought to, that's for sure. We all love giving advice, right? We all love to opine, okay, to give our opinion. So this is the go-to modal for that, should, okay? You should do your homework, okay? Well, that's a very nice way, actually. It's not really advice I'm giving to you. It's more of a sugar-coated way of me saying, do your homework, okay? You must do your homework. You've got to do your homework. Sometimes in English we're very indirect, we're very passive, and sometimes we even use should or need to instead of actually using what we really mean, which is obligation or necessity, okay? At least I do. Maybe I'm just a nice guy, okay? I don't know. You can be the judge of that. So anyway, should, okay? Do you think I should say something? All right, I'm asking you, okay? And permission. Okay, first we use can, of course. Can and may. All right, now, either we can use can or may. For example, can I have a drink with my French fries? Okay, you can additionally, of course, say may. Now, may is more refined, and you won't get any smart aleck if you ask, can I don't know, can you, as if, do you have the ability to? So you're always safe with may for all of these smart people, but guess what? Can is a grammatically correct way to say or ask permission to. Okay, so for the example here, you can't smoke in public buildings. Now this is prohibition or this is something that is not allowed, okay? So, you know, we use can for also, you know, prohibition, okay? Can is used additionally for ability, okay? I can ride a bike. I can teach English, hopefully. I can read, okay? That is in a modal form of ability, like I am able to, okay? I'm able to. So can has a lot of different use, okay? We use it for a lot of different things. So keep that in mind. Now, possibility, probability, could, might, and may, okay? So might, the meaning might, it just means possibility. It's like 50-50. So may, same thing. Even less possibility. So, but in the real world, you can use them interchangeably. Nobody's going to tell you differently. Now, in reported speech, this is just a different topic, but if we report something and we say can or may, these two change to could and might. So the meaning might be quite interesting. So maybe it will, maybe, probably it will. Okay, we're insinuating that it probably will be. Okay, it's very likely. Now, let's move on to a little bit of exercise, okay? I think we won't have any problems with this. So let's choose the correct form. All right, let's read now. This email is to confirm that you have been entered for the ITE exam at 9:30 a.m. on the 24th of April. If you are unable to attend the exam on this date, you should or can let us know as soon as possible so that we must or may offer the place to another candidate. Well, let's take a look and examine. So, number one, you should, okay? Not can for ability, permission. We would use should, okay? Definitely should. You should let us know, okay? As soon as possible so that we may, okay? Not must. We're not obliged to do it. It's our possibility to do it so that we have the option to, okay? If you are unable to attend the exam, okay, choice number one, you do not need to or you shouldn't contact us. Well, I would not say shouldn't because we probably we wouldn't give advice like this. So if you're not able to attend the exam, you don't need to contact us. Oops, do not need to, okay? However, here's the contrast. However, if due to unforeseen means in sometime in the future, we can't see something or we don't predict or can't expect something to happen in the future, unforeseen circumstances, you fail to attend the exam on the day you, now this is more obligatory or compulsory, okay? You must. You have to, we could say in real life, you have to, and colloquially, we can say you've got to. We wouldn't write like that, but we can say it when we're speaking. So, contact us within 24 hours so that we must, no, I don't think so, right? We can, okay? It's our ability. You must, it is your obligation to inform us so that we have the ability and possibility even to enter you for the exam on another date at no additional or extra cost, okay? So, all right, moving on, Dalia, okay, Dalia. You must or can bring some form of, well, this is definitely obligatory, so what would you say? Absolutely. So, must, okay? Enjoy it, relish this. You get to use must, okay? So, this either must or might be an original document. Now, again, you may relish this time to use your word must. There is no choice, okay? In real life, of course, we can use this has to be, okay? This must be, okay? They mean the same thing. This has to be an original document. This must be an original document. Okay, if you do not provide photo ID, you will not be able, okay? Now, like we said earlier, I didn't write it down, but be able to is a modal form, and actually this is a future modal form of can, okay? So this is actually, again, a future modal form of can, okay, for ability or permission. Okay, so you will not be able to. Okay, will not, or we could say you won't be able to. Okay. You also, okay, could, well, here we're more or less advising borderline on necessity. Okay. You need to. You also need to. Bring your own pen, okay? Not could. We're not asking possibility or permission. This is borderline. This is necessity more or less, okay? Need to, okay? Bring your own pen and paper. You have to. Oh, finally, have to. Have to or can also take one bottle. So you are allowed. You have the option, okay? Or you have permission, we can say, to take. So you can, okay? Of course, we have 10 or 10, okay, 10 out of 10. So let's quit while we're ahead, and we'll see you next class for past modal forms, dealing with deduction. Looking forward to it as always. You guys do your homework. Stay strong. A little bit of English every day, and you'll be okay. So, until next time, adios, amigos.